If you've clicked on this video and you struggle with perfectionism, then this video is for you. If you also struggle with understanding what God desires from you in this season of life, then this video is also for you. In today's video, we're going to understand that God does not desire for you to be perfect, but He does desire for you to be willing and open to His call, to His word, and to the direction that He has for your life. For some time now, it feels like a good while. For some years now, my wife and I have been on this journey, struggling in some seasons, feeling a lot more clear in other seasons regarding children. But we've been trying for children for some years now. All of the doctors and experts have said that it's simply an unexplained case. And I'm sure you can imagine us leaving the doctor and just looking at each other and saying, like, really? That's all you can say, doc? Is that with all of your expert knowledge and advice, that all you can tell me after we've, ran the credit card a few times and paid them well, but all you can tell me is that we have an unexplained case? Really? That's it? And so it took us to a place that the best thing we knew how to do was to turn to God and to cry out to God and to really seek understanding in this season of life. Although it's been a season going on for years now. And so I bring all this up to say that we too had to get to a place that we were not trying to sort of manufacture our own lives and come up with this perfect plan that was solely pleasing to our own hearts. And so God got us to this point through the testing of our faith, right, on this journey, and Him picking apart our own hearts. And I know it's been Him figuring out whether or not we really love what He loves and if we really hate what He hates. So what does God love? God loves a person that is willing and genuinely ready to obey Him. God hates not people, but God hates when we try to fabricate our own plans apart from what He desires. By the way, doing it that way is not the best life that God has for us. When we try to fabricate our own life and our own lifestyle and our own plans and purposes apart from what God sees fit for our life, then we're missing the whole point of all of this. Willing vessels. I began to ask myself questions throughout this journey of trying for children and just genuinely wanting to grow my family, right? I love children. I love my wife. I love family. And along the way, I've started to ask myself some questions. And so it's like, hey, if God is a good father, then with all His power and ability and authority, then won't He make a message out of all of this mess, right? All of the days, all of the nights, all of the thoughts, all of the energy that we've given to this idea of children and why it hasn't happened yet. I got to a place that I was just crying out to God and just asking Him, hey man, where are my babies? Where are my babies at, right? I want to grow my family. I can picture them, I can imagine them, but when are they going to actually be manifested? So, questions like that. If God is really ordering my steps, then won't He take us down a path that is going to bring satisfaction to our longing hearts and ultimately give glory to His name? Won't He do that? Isn't He a good God? He's got to work it out that way, right? And so He began to teach me and help me understand that yes, He's good, and He's not satisfied until His children obtain a full understanding of who He is and what He's doing, right? And so what I mean by that is, the way I like to say it is that God must get a return on His investment. God is not like us humans, and I don't know if you're into it, but I know that there's people who play the stock market, right? God is not just a being, a spirit being that's just throwing money at a stock market and hoping to get a return and hoping to get like 5% or 7% or 10% back. God created you, He created me, and so long as you are born again and you are one of His and His spirit is living in you, then He's got to get a return on His investment, right? He's restored your heart. He's giving you a clean heart, a new set of eyes. And so now you have this understanding of light and darkness. And so if God is really for you and He's really ordering your step, please believe He's going to get a return on His investment. So what does that mean for you and I? It simply means that He's going to bring the type of satisfaction to your heart that only He can bring. And let's be clear, when He brings the satisfaction, and when He does the work, it is nothing like you and I will ever experience. It's actually the best life that you and I could ever imagine. It's just going to look different from what you may think it should look like and what I think it should look like. What I think it should look like. And so I say all that to say to you that it's not about being perfect. Like, what do we bring to the table that can help God, that can enhance who He is? There's no way we can add to Him or subtract from Him. He is who He is. So the best thing that you and I can do, no matter the season you're in, no matter the circumstance you're struggling through, possibly experiencing some pain and suffering, is that we show up and we make a decision to become a willing vessel for God's holy use only. Period. Have you thought about that lately or ever? Have you ever thought about that? And the reason why I make the distinction, this is what God has opened my mind to. And so I want to share with you. The reason why I make the distinction about us being willing vessels for His holy use only is because the last time I checked, we read in Revelation that He cast Satan out of heaven, and then He allowed Satan and angels of darkness, right? Satan's minions, and he's got children here, right? He's allowed that to take place. And so we have to be aware that if we are not children of the light, sons of the light, daughters of the light, we have to realize that if we are not presenting ourselves to God as willing vessels for His holy use only, then does that not open us up to other things that are antichrist and counter to His will and counter to His word? So we must be careful. By the way, being careful is not a timid thing. It's not a passive thing. I remember I used to think that way. But when I looked at the word and did some basic understanding and research on what does careful mean? Well, the two words inside of careful is care and full. So God is calling you to be full of care when you deal with His word and when you deal with the fact that we must obey His word. So are you willing to be a vessel for His holy use only? Your life will never be the same. I will tell you from experience that you will find yourself saying, I don't know a lot more than you used to. And for some people, that's scary. For some people, that's nerve-wracking. For some people, they don't want to sign up for that because they have to give up their own pleasures, desires, and will in order to experience a greater plan and purpose for their life. And so you have to release some control. That's the hard part. Are you willing to be a vessel for God's holy use only? Or are you going to allow your idea and concept of perfectionism and thinking that you have to have it all together and thinking that you have to have your life mapped out? Are you going to allow that mindset and really that mask to prevent you from stepping into what God has for you? Really? I hope not. Because you saying yes to God is you saying yes to the best thing that's out there for you. You saying yes to God is going to allow you for the first time in life to actually wake up and to see things for what they really are. And so I'll end this video here. Very cool story. And I'll share more as we continue to, as the process continues to unravel. But we are gauging with a host to adopt a program. And I'm gonna be careful because I can only say so much until we have completed all the paperwork. And God is doing something special in our lives. And the child that we are hosting to adopt, she's from a different country, and she's coming up on her teenage years. So it's all these things that we don't speak the same language. So we're taking a step that does not make sense to practically anyone, including ourselves. But what we do know is that it is the Lord's doing. That is a fact. And so because I know that that is the case, I can rest, knowing that if he brought us to this thing, he's going to see us through this thing. And so for that, I'm grateful. But we would have not experienced what we've experienced thus far with the Host to Adopt program and what God is doing in that, had we not said, God, I don't understand, but I say yes to you. God, I don't understand, but I say yes to this process and whatever it entails. And I trust that if you can create all of this, if you can create me in your image and likeness, if you can make me to glorify you, you can, all of creation, right? Like, just think about it. The trees, the grass, the animals. I got chickens back there, right? The moon, the sun, the stars, the planets, the world. If you can do all of that, I'm sure you can take care of little old me. And I'm telling you, he can do the same for you. But it doesn't get sweet. It doesn't get really good. I wouldn't want you to miss out on the fact that it is so much better when you just say yes to God. So my hope and prayer is that you would go from being stubborn, being resistant, being disobedient. You would go from that and you would make a decision to say, God, whatever you have for me, that's what I want. I want to be a willing vessel for your use only. That's it for this video. I look forward to the next one. And man, we're just going to keep going. I'm an imperfect man who serves a holy God, and I'm here to serve you. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Peace.